Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Gardening with Grayson. In today's video, I'm going to be planting up this half whiskey barrel planter. I'm down on the side lower porch of my house, and I fashioned this planter actually to be an umbrella stand. But I decided, instead of turning it into a tabletop as I originally thought I would do, I decided to turn it into a planter, and it works great. So the first thing that I did was remove some of the old soil out of it. I kind of had to freshen this container up a bit. It kind of was a little worn, and I just took a little bit of black spray paint and semi-gloss finish and spray painted it yesterday, so it's ready to rock and roll. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a little bit of this Miracle-Gro potting mix to it, just to kind of recharge the soil a bit. You know, I don't go through and empty all my soil out every year. There are a couple of times I usually get a couple of years out of the soil. And I apologize today, the airplanes are kind of going overhead, so I will apologize for that in advance. So I just go ahead and continue to fill this up. And like I said, I usually try to get a couple of years out of my soil, but I usually do take about half or even a third out each year. You know, some people say to go through and empty out all your soil regardless. Sometimes insects and disease can harbor over in your soil, but I'm just going to go ahead and chance it. So let's go ahead and fill this on up, because it'll settle just a bit as we water it in. The weather here in North Carolina has been beautiful this week. It's around 72 or 3. It's just perfect. Blue skies. Perfect day for getting all these plants in. So I do have drip irrigation, and so I just kind of move this out of my way. I just kind of work around it. Now what I want to do is I don't want to fill this container too high, because as you water it, I don't want all this soil to pour down over onto the brick pavers. So I start with a little bit of this Proven Winners, this premium continuous release plant food. And I love this stuff because it is heat activated. So as the summer goes on and as the temperatures warm up, it continues to feed your plants for up to 6 months. So there's a handy dandy little shaker. We'll just shake that out. There we go, that looks pretty good to me. And then we just kind of work that right into the top few inches of the soil. And I will also be watering these weekly with a water soluble plant food like Proven Winners. So I'm going to be starting with these Brighto Coleus. These are absolutely stunning. These are Proven Winners, and they can take sun or shade. So we're going to start with these. These are going to be like our filler and our thriller. I love to plant Coleus in this planter because they always do incredible here. They will literally reach, they will be so huge by the end of the growing season. It is amazing to me. So I'm going to go ahead and visualize this in thirds. So I'm going to make my first hole. And I kind of tear this just a little bit. I don't want to disrupt those roots too much, but I do want to kind of open those up just a bit. So this is going to be our first one right here. Just pop it right down in. Okay, perfect. And I'm just kind of visualize this in thirds. So the next one we're going to pop in right over here. They're not too root bound, as you can see, but they have a beautiful, healthy root system on them. And Proven Winners does such a great job with that. So we're just going to kind of loosen these up just a bit. And then our third and final one. You know, I found that 3 do the best here. I could fill it in, and I'm going to add extra Coleus in to kind of offset, but they're going to be much, much smaller. But these are our thriller plants. This is what's going to be the main focus. But the other ones, over the course of the growing season, will fill in. I'm going to plump that right down in. Look at how nice that already looks. And just to give this container a fresh spray paint really makes it look brand new. I've had this planter down here for probably 5 years now. And like I said, I originally needed a little table here, but I also needed an umbrella stand, so I just figured I would turn this planter into an umbrella stand. I think I bumped this one over a little bit more this way. So you can move these plants around if you get them in and you don't like where they are or the way that they look, move them around. So we're going to add a little bit more soil. There we go. It's a little tricky when you're on this side of the camera and you're planting something from this direction. It's not always, you can't always see it the way you can whenever you're working from the front. So that looks good to me. So next, you know, as I look at these plants and I'm trying to determine what I'm going to pair with these Coleus, you know, whenever I look at these, I see the dark burgundy, I see a little bit of pink, and then I see this lime green margin. So, you know, when I inspect this and I start trying to think of other colors that'll really work, I know the opposite of red on the color wheel is usually green. So that's where these little Coleus come into play. I just picked up this 6-pack from my local garden center. Pick these up anywhere. These things will grow huge. So I just picked this little handy dandy pack of 6 up at my local garden center again, and I think I'm going to go with the lime green. I think whenever I look at these, again, the red and the green oppose each other on the color wheel, so I know that they will match up very well. Now we could use the burgundy, but I just feel like that's too much the same color. And I could use the burgundy and the green, but again, it's too much of the same. So I'm going to go straight with the lime green. So I'll just take these right out of the package. And the first thing I'm going to do is now I'm going to come right in. I need a little extra soil. So I went ahead and put my drip line in around the plants just to encompass those. And I'm going to put these in right in this margin, right in between them. And then that green will fill that in beautifully. So we'll just pop these little green ones in between and they will fill in beautifully. Okay, and this should fill in perfectly. Those look balanced to me. Maybe I'll shift this one around just a bit. And then our drip irrigation will be right on those. I think that looks beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my landscape staples and I'm just going to tack this irrigation line down. It just keeps it from popping up. And you can cover that with soil. And these plants will hide it in about a week and a half, 2 weeks. It'll completely hide everything. Make sure that nothing's impeding on these plants or that it's not choking them. Go in and fill any air pockets with soil. And then we'll come back in and water these in to settle any of the soil down. And there you have it. Here's my planter, and I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.